Hello, Peace. I am responding to your paper 1 here. Sorry, there's something on my screen. Which era is the actual stepping stone for what accounting is today? Excuse me, is your question. Okay. There is no established definition of accounting, mainly because of the different variables that it contains, which makes me wonder why it was described in the language of business. Accounting isn't just one specific thing, but varieties of components merged. To simply put it, accounting comprises 4 components. It is a constant procedure of offering clients information, observing the financial events, documentation of the business transactions in monetary value, and preparation of financial reports. Okay, I've never thought about defining it before, so I'm learning already. According to the American Accounting Association, accounting refers to the process of identifying, measuring, and communicating economic information to permit informed judgments and decisions by users of the information. On the authority of the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, accounting is the art of recording, classifying, and summarizing in a significant manner in terms of money transaction. Summarizing in a significant manner in terms, I think you meant in terms of money, transactions and events, which are, in part at least, of a financial character and interpreting the results thereof. Okay, I like the definitions that you are working with. You just need a little bit more of your own writing around them. So often writing teachers will talk about putting your quote that you use inside of a sandwich, like a few words to set it up, which you have when you put in there, according to the American Accounting Association, right? So you have that first part of the sandwich, then you have your quote. But the second part usually it's either restating the quote, usually a little bit of restatement, and then also tying the quote into what you're going to discuss or what's significant in it for you. So, for example, in that, let's see, accounting refers to the process of identifying, measuring, and communicating economic information. You might have a sentence after that that discusses how the AAA defines it and how that is different than what you found in, looks like EduNote or something like that. So it is like, we want to make sure that your thoughts and how you're thinking about these things goes all the way through, and that the quotes are just helping to support your overall paper, which doesn't work with my sandwich idea at all. So I don't know. What can I tell you? Okay. Different eras of accounting. The development of accounting is broken into 4 different eras. Wow, I know nothing about this. Emergent era, early age to 1494. Pre-analytical era, 1495 to 1799. Developing era. Modern era, I should be reading that part too, 1951 to modern era. Maybe you meant to say 1951 to current day. Looks like date is there, and maybe it just needs to be filled in. Okay, the emergent era, this stage covers the time frame from the start of human progress to 1494. Well, that's a long time. Any solid source regarding the specific beginning of bookkeeping practice is yet to be discovered. However, it can be said that accounting practice began when the trading of products or administrations was felt fundamental. The trading of products, gotcha. The administration, you mean the administration of trade? Yeah, once we get to that last part, or admissions was felt fundamental, I get kind of confused. However, it can be said that accounting practice began when the tradings of products, maybe you meant, like I said, and the administration of trading, or the record keeping of trading or something. Okay, the accounting arrangement at that time was not in any way evolved and restrained starting today. The accounting arrangement of that time was not evolved, restrained starting today. I don't know what that last part means. Restrained starting today? Like it's not, of course it's not evolved because it's like the first ways that people tried to do it. Okay, well, that's a revision thing. The developing phase of accounting arose staying up with the accompanying sequential phases of the historical backdrop of human civilization. Oh, sorry, stone stage, crude stage, deal stage, and cash stage. Interesting. The developing phase of accounting arose staying up with the accompanying sequential phases. A lot of words there, and fewer words would help you, I think. Maybe just the developing phases were. I mean, I think you're trying to say something about how, it goes along with the development of human civilization, which is a fine thing to mention, but I don't think you need to mention that because, I mean, I feel like everything's kind of that way, right? Like everything in history kind of develops as humans develop. But okay. Oh, I'm interested to know about these different stages. The Stone Age was the point when individuals didn't have a clue how to fabricate a house. They used to live in caverns, mountains, and wildernesses and acquired their job by gathering food grown from the ground creatures. Well, I mean, to be fair, I don't know how to fabricate a house either, but they kept records of their gathered natural products, pursued creatures, and loaned merchandise to others by checking ticks on the trees. On the dividers of the caverns and mountains and stones, or making openings or images according to their need. Along these lines, the bookkeeping idea arose. The crude stage began just with the start of the public activity of individuals. Individuals of this stage kept their bookkeeping stamping ticks on the dividers and making rope ties. I think what you're saying is you already talked about making marks. So maybe that last sentence just needs to be something more about if you want to mention the rope ties. I feel like it would make more sense to me, although I might not understand what you're trying to say, to put rope ties just in that list of they checked ticks on trees, dividers, they made marks, and they used rope ties maybe. Okay, and there it looks like you have done a paraphrase of stuff from that source. So that looks okay. The deal stage was the acquaintance of the trade framework to meet. The deal stage was with the acquaintance of the trade framework to meet the need of people. The arrangement of bookkeeping additionally created. The deal stage was with the acquisition of the trade framework to meet the need of people. The arrangement of bookkeeping additionally created. I don't know what you're saying there. From the sensation of the need of keeping efficient records regarding cash of individual expanded properties emerging out of farming, the bookkeeping framework arose. Okay. I feel like a problem that's cropping up several times is just that you have a lot of language, a lot of words, and I think that's making it harder to understand what you're trying to say rather than easier. To deal with that, you could try take one of your sentences and try writing it with just the fewest words you could possibly imagine. I think that would be a really good thing for you to try. A lot of times people are nervous that if their sentences are too short and they don't have enough unusual, introductions and little pieces in the middle, and that it's not going to sound fancy enough, But I think you're really having the opposite problem, which is that carefully going through sentence by sentence and just thinking about okay, what did I really mean to say here? I even sometimes make a game of that when I'm doing this and say okay, if I had to say this in 5 words, how would I say it? That's a great exercise for practice. Okay, where did I leave off? The cash stage was through the developmental cycle of one phase the utilization of cash began. The cash stage was through the developmental cycle At one phase, the utilization of cash began. I don't know what that means. At this stage, horticulture industry and exchange and business thrived. To make the stage throve even more, the book by Luca Pacioli emerged. Okay, so this must be our next figure. And just one little thing. So, like, you used thrived at the end of that one sentence, and then you used throve in the next one. And I think what happened, I could be wrong, but I think maybe what happened is you're using a rule that we use in English all the time to make past tense verbs. So you say I drive, and then yesterday I drove. So you say thrive, but there is no that I'm aware of. We say thrive, but then we just say thrived. Thrive doesn't do that thing of changing to the O. So I think what happened is you made an excellent guess, and English is stupid, and so. The pre-analytical era mainly depended on the findings of Luca. I've never heard of this person. Cool. Accounting relies on economic and social development. The pre-analytical era mainly depended on the findings of this guy. Seems like that should be the end of that sentence. During this period, almost no change occurred. The same could be the same about economic development. I don't know what that means. This brings the question of why accounting is that reliant on the economy, as money would still be the same whether there is an excess or not. Oh, you're going to have to rework this paragraph because I don't know what you've tried to say. It's not getting through to me. Let's go on. The developing era was the modern transformation and presence of enormous scope creation, multi-scale creation, and more extensive rivalry. The developing era was the modern transformation of what? Into what? Transformation of creation? Yeah, I don't know what that means. The longing to acquire a most extreme benefit and government control made new issues and different intricacies in the field of bookkeeping. Okay, the longing to acquire a most extreme benefit and government control. Okay, the government control part I think might be the main. Sorry, my cat's angry. Might be the main thing you're trying to get at there. The need for the accounting process was felt to discover the answers for these issues and intricacies. These explanations and examination measures have assumed an imperative part to help accounting to a further advance of headway. The mechanical unrest acquired a far-sighted change in the financial construction of the European nations. In the modern era, after the Second World War, the production system changed drastically because of the amazing headway of science and innovation. Enormous progression was made in industry and trade, and these affected the monetary and public activity colossally. Under the changed conditions, the conventional arrangement of bookkeeping neglected to fulfill the needs of different invested individuals of the general public. Under the changed conditions, the conventional arrangement didn't fulfill the needs of individuals. Okay, I think I'm back with you. Therefore, endeavors were made to refresh the accounting system, scrutinizing the current conventional arrangement of bookkeeping. Okay, I think I'm getting back to what you're saying. This makes me want to know the struggles they went through to get to a middle ground with the people. Like a middle ground with bookkeepers and people? Okay, influential events of people. As it can be seen, there has been an abundance of events that have taken place during the history of accounting, specifically the 15th and 19th centuries, the birth of the modern accounting, and accounting deemed as a profession officially. 15th century was an influential period for accounting. So here you're going back to the 15th century to talk more about Luca Pacioli, I think. He wrote a book on mathematics, containing the chapter which explained the double bookkeeping. That seems like a very important thing, the double entry bookkeeping system. Yes, his book became the foundation of later discoveries. Okay, and then although he wasn't the founder of the system. They found proof of its use in the release of the book. Okay, the approach of modern partners